California's status as the most ethnically and linguistically diverse state in America was not an accident of geography. It was produced by deliberate policy decisions, labor agreements, and demographic forces over the second half of the 20th century. And one program sits at the foundation of that story, the Bracero Program. But first, the context. By the 1940s, California's agriculture had become one of the largest commodity producing systems in the world, and it depended on seasonal migrant labor. Growers needed workers they could hire during harvest and release in the off-season, what economists call flexible labor. There was also a structural inconsistency in American policy. Immigration law was formally restrictive, especially toward Asia, yet the Mexican border was kept relatively open for agricultural labor. That contradiction set the stage. The Bracero Program began as an emergency wartime measure in August 1942. The name comes from the Spanish word for arm, signifying a manual laborer. Under an agreement between the United States and Mexico, the U.S. would recruit Mexican nationals for temporary farm work, under contracts that promised minimum wages, food, shelter, and protection from discrimination. The program ran for 22 years and generated an estimated 4.5 million labor contracts, making it the largest guest worker program in U.S. history. On paper, the protections were real. In practice, they were inconsistently enforced. The sociologist Ernesto Galarza documented systematic wage theft and unsafe transportation, including a horrific 1963 crash in Chihuahua, California, where a freight train struck a bus and killed 32 braceros. California hosted the largest share of these workers. At one point, Galarza estimated that 1 in every 2 seasonal farm jobs in the state was filled by a bracero. The program ended on the last day of 1964, under pressure from labor unions, including Cesar Chavez's organizing efforts, which were undercut by bracero labor being used to break strikes. But here's the crucial point. Ending the program did not end the migration. Over 22 years, it had built dense networks of social connection and labor market knowledge between Mexican communities and California farms. Migrants knew where to go, whom to contact, and what work was available. When the legal channel closed, those networks didn't dissolve. They simply redirected toward unauthorized migration. The Bracero program had institutionalized a migration system that would outlive it by generations.